Mint tea is minty. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Wait What podcast. It's at this point that I usually say I have my lovely co-host Jono with me, and this time I do. Hey Jono!
You alright?
Yes. It's so nice to hear you again.
It's been a little while.
The last episode was very weird for me.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't even heard it.
No.
You heard the intro to it yesterday because it's hilarious.
Yep.
Just a good thanks to the Round and Round podcast for getting involved last time. Good old Jeff. I really enjoyed it. We missed you.
Yeah, I missed out because my microphone died.
Yeah, I said that
Cool.
in the episode. I was like, this fucking shit. And then, we're looking at maybe guesting on theirs.
Oh.
So you can come along for that one.
Yeah, I'll join in on that one, yeah.
That would be good. It'd be nice to have you there. It'd be weird to not have you around again. I hope that never happens.
I'll do my best.
Thanks, man. That means that, like, when we're older, you have to die first, too. No, I have to die first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want to die first. You die first.
No.
But, like, can you just wait till I'm, like, really ill or something? Anyway, this is a weird intro to our podcast. Bam! We're back. The original Dream Team. And this episode, it's just me and you.
It is.
So that's wonderful.
How it's supposed to be.
Yeah. First thing, I need to ask you a question.
Go for it.
So, as the people know, good old Jono over here, he decided that he would help me do some editing, which is a marvellous thing. He's a fantastic human. So I decided he'd edit episode 2. I'll get episode 1 out of the way, get back into the swing of things, and then he'd do episode 2. Now episode 2, Jono.
Yes.
No one's seen it yet, but by the time they're listening to this, they would have seen it. It's called an interview with a digestive.
Yes.
I need some background because you just said to me, this is what I want to call it. And I went, all right. And then it was like a minute or two later that I was like, why?
Yeah, so when we were setting up for episode 2, I was just chatting with a couple of people on the old Snapchat. And
the old snapperoonies.
Yeah, and I just sent a picture saying like, oh yeah, prepping for season 2, episode 2 kind of thing. We're recording. And I just had a couple of biscuits on my desk, and my friend Chelsea replied and said, what, are you interviewing a digestive?
Nice.
And I went, yes. I was like, in fact, I'm going to call it that. So Chelsea, thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. I've never spoken to you, but now I technically have. I've never spoken with you, but technically I'm talking at you right now if you listen. So, nice work, Chelsea. Keep the strong pun game up. Now, moving entirely on from that, because, we've got to get this podcast episode done. Can't just talk about bloody biscuits all day.
Maybe we should start a second podcast about biscuits.
Mate, don't. 2 things. 1, I'm in. Second of all, imagine all the extra editing. And third of all, like, I'm getting a fit as hell in this lockdown. Like, I'm in better shape than you last saw me. I've been working like every day, and I don't want to start eating a load of biscuits for a podcast.
See, I've been prepping for the biscuit podcast without knowing it.
Oh shit! Well, I mean, good work. I'm gonna hit you straight up with a little news story. An astrophysicist that got magnets stuck up his nose while inventing a coronavirus device.
Okay.
Australian Dr. Daniel Reardon, one of those two, ended up in hospital while inserting magnets into his nostrils while building a necklace that warns you when you touch your face. Now, I've worn necklaces in the past. I've put necklaces on other people. Rarely does that involve putting things up my nose. So I don't know how that's happened. He looks, he's looking a bit sad in his bed. Well, I mean, technically he looks either positive or negative. Yes, I just thought of that joke. I am the best. There's not a whole lot I can tell you about this, but I just wanted to make you aware of it. Because
are the magnets part of the necklace?
I fucking hope so. Let's read on. He came up with a plan to create a necklace that would react if your hands were near your face. Apparently, they're hand magnets. Unfortunately, the device did not work as planned. Correct. My invention had the opposite effect. It buzzed continuously until a magnet was put close. Okay, so what he wanted it to do was buzz when you put the magnet that was on your arm, maybe?
Yeah, I was just thinking, is there like a matching bracelet?
Okay. I knew I was in trouble. I had a laugh and gave up temporarily. Then I started mindlessly placing magnets on my face. First my earlobes, then my nostrils, like a magnetic piercing. The problem was, I put magnets in my other nostril, they all pinched together, and the ones on my septum got stuck. For fuck's sake. So, like this one here, I thought I'll read it for the I didn't read it at all. I thought I'll read it for the first time when I read it to John. At first, it hurt, but I wasn't too stressed. I started to get more and more stressed when I realised it wasn't going to be trivial to remove them. How strong were these fucking magnets? Then after using my last 2 magnets and a few... How many magnets did he have? Oh, God. He's like, I knew it was a mistake to put my 2 strongest magnets up my nose. Then after using my last 2 magnets and a futile attempt to remove the other magnets, I got getting those stuck too. Oh, fucking hell. I've had a stressful morning, so this is great. The pliers kept getting attracted to my... What the fuck? He tried using pliers to get them out, and he said, but then the pliers kept getting attracted to my nose, and the force of my nose being pulled was painful. Of course it was. You had magnets up your nose? He then went to the hospital. They thought it was great, particularly the doctors that knew his partner. They came past to have a laugh and asked, "Why were you putting magnets in your nose?" Well, I mean, the funniest thing is you've never got an answer that isn't ridiculously shit to why are there magnets up your nose.
Well, I was bored and I had magnets.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I reckon he probably wasn't even creating any form of device. He just was bored and he thought, fuck, this can be in the news. I better say it's something to do with me helping the world. He said he thinks he'll put he'll put his idea on the back burner for now and let someone more qualified give it a go. I mean, he's an astrophysicist, right? Come on. First of all, you're not building machines on the reg. Second of all, you're not qualified in magnets. If there's a qualification for that.
Wow.
So yeah, there's that. Deal with that. Suck it up. Enjoy it. Move on. Next topic. You'll go. Bam. What you got?
All right, I've got a news story for you here.
Hit me up.
Twins that have been born in the midst of India's coronavirus lockdown have been named COVID and Corona.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
It says the parents of COVID and Corona hope the twins' names will serve as a reminder of the hardships they overcame.
What? It's nothing compared to the fucking hardships they're gonna have to overcome.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard enough with any name at all. You go to school and everyone's like, that name rhymes with something funny. That's their new name.
Yeah.
But when your name is COVID or Corona,
Yep.
and you're twins,
yep.
Christ.
The parents have said that they might change their minds later and rename the children.
I fucking hope they do. You might as well have named them L strain and S strain. That's a little coronavirus joke for you there, if you know anything about coronavirus.
Yeah. Apparently, there
Jesus
had been a
Christ.
few complications during the birth, so they thought it would be a good reminder.
It wasn't. Telling you this now,
Yeah.
it's not a good idea. It's a terrible fucking idea. Idiots. Also, just a side note, throwing it back to Jeff, my part-time co-host last week. You know, in this, normally it's me that does the swears, and then you occasionally drop one. It was lovely. Within, like, the third sentence, Jeff said fuck, then asked me if it was okay. In that order. It was the best thing. And I was like, 2 things. 1, it's too late, and 2, it's fine. So, it was great. There wasn't as much swearing as I thought there would have been. There was some swearing, you know. It was more than usual, but I should have put more effort in. I might just edit in some extra F-bombs. Where did this stupid naming happen? Was it either in a really far away country from us, or was it in America?
It was India.
It was India. Of course it was. Oh my god! Side note: I just saw that David Attenborough was trending.
Oh god.
Relax. He just did an interview.
All right, that's fine. He's allowed to do that.
Oh, God. I shit my pants there for a second. I was like, not him. Come on. Not him. If Boris can get through it, please let fucking Attenborough go. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. So, let's have a look at what else is on the list. I'm going to give you an option. You can either hear about something that I just learned about from the song Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake. The thing that I learned was he's not the only person singing in that song. There's someone else. Now, I know that there's the bit where there's the really low-voiced dude.
Yeah.
That's not the bit I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you hear him singing Cry Me, and then Cry Me a River, and there's like little ad-libs here and there. That's not all him.
Okay.
But I have 100% thought it was the entire part of my life.
I'm kind of struggling to remember what it sounds like.
How dare you? Well, listen to it afterwards and you'll be like, nah, bro, that's all JT. But then he'll be like, ain't JT, because Stephen told me the truth. He dropped a truth bomb and now I'm covered in truth particles. I'm pretty hyped up this morning.
I've noticed.
Yeah, I've just got a new protein delivery yesterday and it's got some HMB in it. And HMB like always makes me recover a bit better and just have a little bit more energy in general. So I'm like bouncing my legs here. HMB, for people that don't know, it's just amino acids, but they're in very small amounts in your food, so HMB just shoves them in your face in big old tablet form.
If there's one thing you don't need, it's extra energy.
Well, it's not for extra energy, but it helps you recover quicker and it helps you like... It does stuff, Jono. I'll send you a link. I can't bother to talk about it. The only other option you've got is that or hearing about some creepy coincidences, one involving Life magazine and one involving Edgar Allan Poe.
I think I need to hear about this JT thing first.
All right, here we go. JT, bam. So he sang Cry Me a River, right? Some of the lines are, you don't have to say what you did, I already know. I found that from him, right? That's one of the words. Well, that's a lot of words. That's one of the sentences. He wrote it, apparently it was inspired by his breakup with Britney Spears after she allegedly cheated on him with choreographer Wade Robson. Now, I'm seeing old photos here, because obviously that's when it happened. JT looks a mess. Britney Spears looks, well, to be fair, she's looked worse. One point, her head at the end of a pencil with an eraser on it.
She's not at her peak running capability there, though.
No, she's not. She can't run like old Bolt now. Either the Olympic runner or the dog. But the Wade Robson dude, he, you know, like first way to describe hair at this point. You know when you've like used a paintbrush on a wall, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of half-assed clean it. So then there's like mainly black bits, right, from the paintbrush. But then there's like a beige or a white colour or a cream that you've painted with, and it's stuck in random lumps, right? Now imagine that paintbrush, yeah, but like parted on the side on the top of a white guy's head.
Wow.
That's him.
That is a description.
I only found this out the other day, right? But you know, in the background, sometimes you hear Cry Me, sung a little bit like high-pitched, and it's like over the top of him singing his chorus, right? The entire way through, I thought that was him, because it sounds like him.
Okay.
Side note, I've just seen a GIF on BuzzFeed where I'm reading this from, and the GIF says, "Wait, what?" ? Couldn't have been better. Well, it turns out it wasn't sung by him. It's ridiculous. It was sung by Marsha Ambrosius. I really hope I said her name correctly. She sang all the little ad-libby bits in that song. And I didn't know that. And it fucking blew my mind. So I wanted to tell you. She apparently told everyone back in 2016, but no one noticed. She put, my first Grammy win was Cry Me a River. That's me on the background and all the ad-libs in the end. I was sitting in the nosebleeds for my Grammy win. So, yeah. And when you look through the credits for the song, she's in there.
Oh, I'm going to have a listen to this when we're done.
Yeah, it's, yeah. No, I don't know what else I've been lied to about.
Many things.
Yeah, not just from celebrities, just from generally. What have you lied to me about, Jono? What are you suggesting?
Don't get me started.
That noise was me meant to going, but I was pouring water into my mouth.
I've just hired someone else to do half the podcast episodes with you.
Wow, they sound the same. Is it you now?
It might be.
Oh no. Oh no! Hang on, I just got a text from Jono saying help. So yeah, that was that. It was a really quick thing, but I learned it the other day, and I was like, I need to use our somewhat followership to educate the world because I didn't fucking know.
Never going to trust him again now.
No, neither am I. I'm gonna cry myself a river straight after this. I'm playing with my amp. They're very loud buttons. I should stop that. I don't know if you could hear that.
Very clearly, yes.
Yeah, no. Also, probably not great to play with the amp so much when it's not even on or being used. Anyway, you got another thing? Tell it to me. Fill my ears with your news.
All right, I've got a little fact for you.
Tell me. I'm drinking again.
Okay, so I saw this on a random Instagram post about a week or so ago, and I sat there looking at it for a minute, being like, "Nah, that can't be right." So I did a little digging, bit of Wikipedia digging,
Nice.
and turned out
got your truth shovel out.
Yep, it's completely true. And this fact is
what is it?
12 people have walked on the moon, but only 8 people have won Takeshi's Castle.
Right. One of them's involves going to space.
Yeah.
The other one's just a lot of crazy Japanese people.
Yeah.
Fuck. Are we? No, we can't. Are we saying that Takeshi Castle winners are like better than astronauts?
I mean, maybe. Maybe we're sending the wrong people to the space.
Can you imagine sending the Takeshi Castle winners? Just like watching them like get on the moon and just start driving around in ridiculous go-karts. Fucking hell. That's fucking mental.
Yeah.
That is mental. Do you know what is also mental?
What's that?
Creepy coincidences. Bam, segue. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
I would say to you, do you want to hear about the Life magazine one first or the Edgar Allan Poe one first? But I've got the Life one in front of me, so you have no choice.
All right. I wanted to hear that one anyway.
Well, good. So, Life magazine, right? Have you heard of it?
Yep.
It hit the stands in 1936 and it finished in 2000, right? Here we go. Bam. On the front cover of the very first one, they hit the stands on November 23rd, 1936. There was a photo on the front, and there was the very first photo was of a baby being cradled in a doctor's hands, and that baby was named George Story. And the caption read, "Life begins." Nicely done, right?
Clever.
Story went on to be a journalist, but that's not the biggest coincidence. On April 4th, 2000, Life announced it was ceasing publication. With the announcement of the end of Life, also came the end of Story's life, and he died only a few days later from heart failure.
Oh.
So he was literally born with the magazine, died with the magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, and now for the other one. Okay, so this one you need to wait for the end before you're like, this is bullshit. Just wait. It's about an Edgar Allan Poe story that happened 46 years after it was published.
Okay.
So, his one and only full-length novel is the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. And the gist of the story is, Pym was stowing away on a whaling ship, things go a bit, and the crew mutinies. Everyone dies, a storm hits, well, nearly everyone dies, a storm hits, and the remaining crew are left to drift around. They catch, kill, and eat a turtle, that's not enough. They basically draw straws to see who needs to be eaten first, and the short straw is drawn by a mutineer named Richard Parker. He's killed, eaten, and ultimately the remaining crew are rescued. Right?
Okay.
So this is Edgar Allan Poe's story. It was published in 1838. Now, in 1884, a ship called the Mignonet, a ship left England going to Australia. There was no mutiny, but the yacht was hit by storms off the coast of Africa. The 4 men were left adrift in a dinghy with no food or water. They did manage to catch, kill, and eat a turtle. Now, after that, they were starving, and they decided that their numbers needed to dwindle so that the rest of them could survive. They settled on the youngest person amongst them, and he was sick from drinking too much seawater anyway. He had no family to return to. So he died. He was eaten, and the others were rescued 4 days later, still munching on this is their word, still munching on what remained of his body. That guy's name was Richard Parker. Bam. Bam.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I like that one. I read that and I was like, oh. So there you go.
It's like all the Simpsons like predictions, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But this time it was Edgar Allan Poe and not a bunch of yellow people.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. And while Witch didn't make it to the top of the world, he did make the Gangs of Hollywood podcast. So join the gang and enjoy a movie review podcast about movie gangs, gangsters, mobsters, and the mayhem they cause. You can find GOH Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at GOH Pod at www.gohpod.com, as well as your favorite podcast listening app. And remember, say hello to your little friend for me.
Have you got anything else, Jono, that you want to talk to me about?
Yes, yeah. So Sony revealed the new controller for the PlayStation 5 a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, you sent me a photo of this earlier.
Yes, I did. So you can have a little look at it.
I have done the looks.
So it's called the DualSense controller.
Better than the No Sense controller, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be what it'd be like if Alan named it.
Oh, he couldn't name anything.
No. Bless him. Anyway.
The new controller's due to release alongside the PlayStation 5 console, obviously.
Yeah.
They reckon
It'd be a bit weird if they just released it. They just went, this is the new controller, you can buy it now. We don't know when we're putting out the new console.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you, because they're planning on releasing the console in the 2020 holiday period.
Right. Which is all the time currently.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, surely everything that's going on must have delayed the production.
Maybe, yeah.
I'd be really surprised if it was out before Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care. I play Xbox.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's supposed to be a new Xbox console this year as well.
Yeah, but I haven't heard any news about that, so I will remain hopeful.
Fair enough. What do you think of the design of the controller?
I like it. The only thing I think is it's like someone... just having this image now, so bear with me while I find my words. I feel like that this is what happened in my brain when I looked at it, right? Now imagine there's a group of people that sat in a nice office, yeah, and they're all staring at a whiteboard, and there's one person at the front of the whiteboard going, come on guys, what's the theme for the new Xbox, new PlayStation, and the new controller? And after about 5 minutes of silence, someone goes, I've got it. He bolshily walks towards the front, confident as fuck, dripping in swag, right? Gets up there, uncaps, we're going into detail, he uncaps the whiteboard marker, right? Does a little squiggle to test that it works. He confirms it works, and then he just writes, actually probably removes the squiggle first because he's professional. Then he writes, the future, and just underlines it. And then he goes, that's the theme. And then he just walks and sits back down, and everyone's like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
No,
and then I feel like that's all they've done, is they've just gone, we need it to look like it's from the future. And then they've just moved on. Because that's all it screams to me. It just screams that all they've wanted to do is make it look as sleek and as like sci-fi futuristic as possible.
The future as designed by a committee.
Yeah. So our future.
Yeah.
It's like two-tone with... I'm not saying I don't like the design. I do. It's lovely. But has it got a built-in mic?
It does.
Meh. Just looking at the photos.
Yeah, they've removed the need for a headset, and they've got a built-in mic.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, because will it pick up all the button pressing? And
yeah, they're going to have done a real good job to make that not make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But I like the no colours on the buttons. I feel like no one needs to see the colours anymore. No one's looking at that.
Yeah, I saw a mock-up where they had the DualSense, but with the like PS1 color scheme, and so it was all the
Yeah.
grey and it had all the colors, and the logo was colored, and it looks really cool as a specific themed one. But I do quite like the simplicity.
Yeah, that's kind of like a retro throwback, more like that's what it kind of feels like. But no, I like this.
Yeah. So the new controller's gonna ditch the rumble technology that's been in the previous incarnations of
Okay,
it, and it's gonna have haptic feedback instead.
nice.
The trigger buttons will have adaptive triggers, and the developers will be able to program resistance into them to simulate actions more accurately, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
The share button that's on the current gen controller is being replaced with a create button, and they haven't actually said anything about that, but
Just so it's called the create button.
yeah, they've just said it's called this, and there will be more details near a launch.
All right.
But I think it looks pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure on the two-tone. I think it'd be better if it was just like a solid color.
See, I like it. I like it just being like that little black bit at the bottom, and the buttons being like the triggers being black, and it's just got obviously the standard like blue lighting in the background.
Yeah, I like the new lights around the touchpad. I think that's quite
Yeah, it looks
tastefully done. But it will be one to see in person, I think.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how that microphone works as well.
Yeah,
especially where it's right next to both fucking thumbsticks.
Yeah. With the speaker on the controller, because that's in place on the DualShock 4 as well.
Yeah.
But there's not many games that take advantage of that, and it really does add an extra dynamic to when you're playing a game.
Yeah, I've played a couple on friends' consoles where it throws up like a bit of noise every now and then, and it like first of all it catches you off guard because you're not used to it. But like it's it definitely adds like an extra like depth.
Yeah.
And like maybe even like a level of realism because you're not just getting the sound come from the TV then.
Yeah. So hopefully there'll be a bit more done with that in the future as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
On a side note, while we're talking about Sony, by the time this goes out, it won't really mean anything, but I just want to say that they're currently running a play at home initiative where you can download the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection and Journey for free to play at home. It's up until May 5th, and it's yours to keep afterwards. But I just think that's a nice touch by them.
Good work them. On the mention of games, I've played too much House Flipper. I swear to God, right, all my life is at the moment is either work from home, work out, go for a walk, or play House Flipper or Animal Crossing. I got addicted to Far Cry, then I started playing House Flipper. It was like £25, best £25 I've ever spent. I've invested about 27 hours into it.
Jesus.
My other half's invested about 14 or 15 hours into it.
Wow.
All it's done is made me feel like my current house is shit. So
I'm not going to start playing it then because I know that mine is. As I texted you the other day, I found out my extractor fan in the kitchen doesn't go anywhere. There's just a hole in the top of the cupboard.
That broke me for a second.
Yeah.
I read it and I was like, what? Why?
Yeah. There's no tube out or anything. It goes above the cupboards and releases. That's it.
I feel like I need to check mine now. Like, not now, but you just see me run off. Like, now I'm fearful. Great, you've ruined my day now. I'm just going to literally live in fear that I've just been moving. All I've basically done is taken the fumes and put them through a cupboard.
To be fair, I don't think I've ruined your day.
I think Argos have ruined my day.
Yeah.
Fuck Argos. I'm not going to get into it. Not fully. Let's just say I've spent a total of about 2.5 hours on hold with them today. I let their computer system put me through to where I should be able to speak to. Well, I say let, I had no fucking choice. They put me through to a woman called Joan, who took my old number, and then without saying anything else to me, just went, "Oh, I can't help you with this. You need to speak to the fast track team." And I said, "Does that mean I'm going to be on hold for another 6 years?" And she went, "No," and then just put me through. So I was like, "Hey, Joan, you can fuck right off." Then I got through to a guy who was very helpful. I can't fault him. He was good. I had a bit of a laugh with him. I told him he must be hating his life right now, and he literally responded with something like, "Don't even." So, as we know, I in our current company, I used to be in the management team for the contact center there, and I know how bad things get when things get bad. So, there's only certain people that can work in a contact center. you can't have any emotion. Otherwise, you'd be crying all the time because people are assholes when they realise you can't punch them in the face. So, say that. One time I did hand deliver something to someone's house, and I've never seen someone look so worried about what they'd said to me on the phone.
Really?
Yeah, they were like a half an hour drive away, and our delivery drivers couldn't do it until like the Monday, and it was like Friday evening. So I said I'd deliver it to them when I finished my shift at 5. I drove to their house, dropped it off, and the dude had like proper short man syndrome, proper Craig syndrome. He was a short, slim guy, just happened to have a deep voice, and then I'm a 6'6", 220-pound guy
With a really squeaky voice.
with a really squeaky voice. Yeah. And I knocked on the door, and he just looked up, and you just saw it. He did like a slow-mo swallow. I was like, "Here's your stuff, sir," and he was like, "Thanks." And then just turned around and shut the door and walked in. It's like, that was worth it. That was worth the traffic. All right, I'm going to call it. This is the episode done. I've already got a lot to edit. I don't need more minutes. So, yeah, marvellous. Thanks for listening. If you want us to discuss anything, hit us up at WaitWhatFM. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. We need the love. I'm not going to lie to you. We've got loads of people on Twitter. You guys are great. Instagram, lacking. It makes me sad. I struggle to sleep at night, but that's my crippling anxiety. So, that's all. Have a wonderful first week of June. And we will speak to you later. Laters, bitches.